Oh, sorry.
Hi, everybody. Steve Houston and Angela on the phone here on the video, the YouTube, the interwebs,
We're on the web.
yeah, on the interwebs. We're out taking a drive in the country, heading back from meeting with some folks, and this morning we get up and we watched the Masters. I don't know if you're golf fans or not, but I'm a huge golf fan. So you can tell by the hat. Not a huge Tiger Woods fan necessarily, but we were inspired by the no quit attitude, and the guy went through last 14 years, wasn't it? No, not winning a major. Had to rebuild his reputation, rebuild his career, golf swing, all that body. Multiple surgeries. I mean, how many people, Angela, would be willing to go through that pain and just 11 years to get back in the major winning circle? And we see so many people here in this industry, our agents and people that come to us, they give it a couple of weeks, a month, and they're out.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that has been talked about a lot this week, especially with the Masters being on and with Tiger, is the fact that he had multiple things in his life that had to be, like Steve was talking about, multiple things that had to be kind of completely revamped. He went through some personal scandals, and for most people that would take them out. The embarrassment, the financial loss, the need to have to apologize and go in front of the public. And then he had massive issues with his body, with his back, with his knees, with his ankles, with his hips, with his shoulder. Just everything. Unbelievable. He's like the majority bionic man now, right? And for most people, that would take them out. Having to deal with that much physical illness and surgeries and physical therapy and all that kind of stuff, that would take them out. And the fact that in terms of golf, he's getting old, right? He's in his mid-40s now. And for most people, not able to compete with the other people that are in their industry, that would take them out. And in golf, in this business, in mortgage protection, in insurance sales, in life, most people have one wave come at them, and that's it. They completely change gears. They get taken out, and they allow those things to take them out. And the one thing that you have to give Tiger is, week after week in the last few years, as soon as he could get back out and play at a competitive level, and not hurt himself.
And it didn't look good.
And it didn't look good.
Missing cuts, hitting it all. I mean, he looked like he was
struggling.
A new golfer.
He looked like
an amateur golfer.
Right. He looked like he did not look like somebody.
But he was willing to be bad before he was good again, because he had a reason, he had a why, he had a dream to get back out there, because he's got an overall dream or career goal, which is to beat Jack Nicklaus's record, which is 18 majors. So he didn't let all those obstacles deter him. I think the biggest thing, go ahead, you finish your thought.
So I think that what you have to take away from that is how applicable it is to what we do. And that is, you have to be willing, when people say to Steve or I have to make this work, or this is my last opportunity in life, this is it, I'm out of options, I'm out of money, I'm out of time, then you have to go at it with that mentality. You have to go at it with that determination. Sorry, you have to go at it with that drive. And we see a lot of people that on a Wednesday afternoon, they'll say something like, "Oh, I've got to go pick up my kids," or "I have to go to the doctor," or "I have to go do any number of things."
Mow the grass.
Right.
Wash the car.
And one thing that
everybody needs to do, but it's a matter of priority.
Something that Steve and I have always talked about is how easily people are willing to put this business in the second position.
Yeah.
So something comes along, and the first thing that they do is they take dialing leads, booking appointments, running appointments, whatever it is. They take that and they say that can wait. But mowing the lawn, picking up the kids, going to the doctor, doing whatever, that can't wait. a birthday party, whatever it is. And I'm not diminishing those things. I'm simply saying that you have to make a commitment to put those things in the second position for at least 30, 60, 90 days until you get at least a part of the way to your goal.
Yeah.
Until you start to gain traction, that you can then begin to be more discerning, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like anything else. People, I mean, they don't want it bad enough. It's lack of desire, whatever it is. I mean, the name of the video is I forgot what the name of the video was. But the idea was, I had my title down here several times, and you can see I crossed out. I started out the number one skill needed to succeed as mortgage protection and final expense agents. Then I crossed out needed to the number one skill we look for as agency builders to succeed in mortgage protection, life and final expense agents. And then I crossed out skill and needed, and I put the number one character trait that we look for in mortgage protection and final expense. And I wrote down here, do any of these things matter, Angela? And so let's talk about these things. Because I think, again, people, whatever. There's education in general, like going to college. Does that matter?
No.
Does education in terms of product knowledge matter?
To start, no, because you'll gain the product knowledge along the way.
So anybody that comes in here with a high school education, or even not even having a high school education, or a GED, has nothing to do with success.
No, as long as you can get your insurance license to the state that you live in.
Yeah, background check.
That's it. Right,
Yeah.
and pass the background check.
And so many people spend just an insurmountable time trying to learn the product knowledge and all the products they're never going to sell, rather than learn the important skills like how to get a lead if you're going to work the lead system, and using a phone script without tweaking it, follow a proven time-tested system that we have for our agents in place. We've used the same script for years, the same phone script for years. Have you tweaked it? Have you changed anything about it? No, because it works. And so, but they come in here and they don't want to follow us, and they want to just kind of willy-nilly do whatever they want to, and that's fine. They can do that.
I think but people say they want to follow a system, but then they want to make it their own. Don't make it your own.
At least
60 days,
until you find success with the system. When you are working a proven system or a proven phone script, you shouldn't be making it your own until you actually start making some sales with that phone script. Then you can tweak it if you want to. Well, we've had agents on our team do just that and derail their success and run back to the phone script we gave them because they realized that it worked and their tweaking didn't work. What about, so we already talked about product knowledge. What about coachability?
I think you have to be coachable, and I think you have to be coachable and put your feelings and you have to take the emotion out of it. I know it's hard sometimes to be coached. I know sometimes it's hard to have somebody say that's not the right thing to do, or you need to do it this way. Don't do that, do this. I know that's hard to hear sometimes. I know it's hard to hear because even when Steve or I are coaching people, it's hard to hear ourselves say that to somebody. But if you pick any industry, pick any athletic field, and ask anyone who has a coach, athletic coach, a life coach, whatever it is, ask them, you better move up. Oh, no, maybe not. Ask them if their coaches were always, sugar-coated it. Did they tell them what they wanted to hear or what they needed to do?
Yeah.
So you have to be coachable. You have to be willing to brace yourself.
And coaching is not listening. It's not even hearing. It's following the instructions.
Yeah.
I mean, people say that to us all the time. I'm coachable, and we tell them to go do something, and they don't do it. So the coaching is not just listening to what I'm saying; it's actually following instructions, taking action on what you're being told to go do. As long as it's legal and ethical, and that person that you're talking to is not a recruiter, not just telling you from book knowledge, but he's successful and the evidence is there to see for you. I would follow exactly what he said. If he said I go out to every appointment with 3 pens in my pocket, one with blue ink, one with red ink, and one with black ink on it, and here's how I have them assembled in my front pocket, that's what I would do. Because obviously it works. If I say go put a lanyard on and have it say this, that's what I would do. Right? When Tiger Woods is getting instruction for his golf swing, he's not saying, "Okay, I hear you, but I'm going to do it a little bit different." No, he does exactly what he's told. That's what coachability is. I find that to be one of the biggest problems in this industry. Is people think they're coachable, but they're not coachable because they hear what you're saying, but they don't take action. Somehow they filter out
right.
What you're saying and change it just a little bit, and they think, and that little bit derails their success.
Right.
It really does. I think being a self-starter is something we look for?
Yeah, because you have to, this business or any business really that you start for yourself there's not going to be someone behind you. I was thinking about this with our daughter-in-law. My daughter-in-law has a job. She works in an office, and it's kind of interesting because she has to be there at a certain time in the morning, period. It's not negotiable. She doesn't leave until a certain time of the day for lunch. She only gets a half hour for lunch. And during the course of the day, somebody tells her what to do, guides her throughout the course of the day. Do this task, do that task, do this task. And she, for what she needs and does, that works for her. Mm-hmm. If you don't want that type of a lifestyle, which we never have, and that's fine. But then you have to be your own person going behind yourself all day long saying, I have to do these things. I have to do these things. I have to do these things. So you have to initiate that. You got to do that yourself. You can't get up and, I think I'll go wash the car and go shopping and then maybe I'll come back. And I hear people all the time, it's middle of the day, and I say, have you done this yet? Entered your application or dialed your leads? And they say, no, I'm out right now, but I'm going to do that this afternoon. And I'm like, that's the first thing, man. I wake up, go to my desk, check my apps.
Yeah. Angela, I got an email just about 10 minutes ago before we started this video from somebody on one of our agents. And it says, she wanting to quit. And she says, it's just too risky for me. I need to make sure it works. It works. Okay? It works if you work.
Like what works? What?
I mean, you got thousands of people in this industry that are making a very, very nice living in the life insurance business. Not specifically mortgage protection and final expense, which there's thousands of those people too, but even in the life insurance industry, I mean, it's obviously it works. It's one of the oldest industries, the only $1 trillion industry on the planet. And what we do, we have leads. So you're talking to people that want to, want to talk to somebody. So it works, but it doesn't work if you don't work. It's that statement means that you're allowing yourself to potentially quit. You're saying it may not work for me. Well, it will work for you if you're following a proven system. You're willing to go out there and do the activities necessary to get the results you're looking for. There's no question that it'll work.
And I would say, take that same mentality with a job. If my daughter-in-law didn't show up to the job, that wouldn't work either because they wouldn't pay her. So you have to you got to show up. You got to show up, step up, right? Because if you don't show up to the job, they're not going to pay you either. And you got to. So that really is kind of even keel. I guess you're willing to show up if somebody else tells you to.
Well, yeah. I mean, so how do you know a job's going to work? Because they give you a guaranteed salary? Okay, they can fire you. I mean, this works as long as you're willing to show up and be a self-starter, find the information that you need, be coachable and take action on it and have a no-quit attitude. So, look, I have down here, do we look for a good resume? Look, I get resumes all during the week that these guys look like they are the Fortune, 500 CEO that's got a tremendous amount of talents and dead broke. Resumes, it's like social media. You can be anything you want to on the internet, and I don't look for good resumes. I look for coachability, being a self-starter, the ability to follow instructions. You got to be able to use a computer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be able to, and there are classes where you can go and learn how to use a computer. You've got to be willing to grow yourself, right?
Right.
Again, coachability, having a very, very, big, I quit factor. In other words, quitting is not an option. Failing is part of this business. You have to be willing to fail, because as humans, that's how we learn. Quitting, that's on you, right? You make the decision to quit. Right, has nothing to do with the industry. It has nothing to do with whether or not the industry works at all. We know it works. Just say I quit, right? I've been in this business since I was 24 years old. It obviously works, and I'm no stellar, individual. Why are you shaking your head?
Sorry, you're not.
I mean, look, I love the business, and but it all comes down in being willing to do the activity. We've had agents on our team. One of them's going to be profiled tomorrow on one of our national calls. That, I think it was 9, 10, 11 times he went out and got porched. Wrote nothing. Prepared for the sale, did the worksheets, printed the apps, drove an hour and a half, nothing. For 9, 10, 11 times.
I think it was 12.
12 times. If you're not willing to do that, then don't even start. Because that just indicates to me, it's not about it is not for you. It's about you quitting before you had success.
Right.
If you continue to do the activities, you'll get the results. No one knows when those results will come. Look, it took Tiger Woods 11 years to get back to being a major champion again. He played a lot of golf tournaments, missed a lot of cuts. I think he won a couple here the last couple of years, but it took 11 years for him to get back. He had plenty of opportunities to quit and say, you know what, it's not for me. Golf's not for me. I lost my golf swing. Right. He didn't. You know why? Because the achievement of his goals were more important to him than quitting was. I mean, look, if quitting is an option, don't start, because I don't think you can succeed in anything if you're willing to quit. Look, this whole Plan B, you've heard me talk about this before, this whole Plan B stuff, Angela, drives me batty. Okay? If you have a Plan B, obviously this person I just got an email from has, because look, if you have a plan, if you didn't have a Plan B and quitting was not an option, then you must succeed. Because you're going to continue to do that, like the guy that went out on 12 porches. Right? Quitting he told me in one of his emails a long time ago, quitting is not an option. Succeeding in this business is not an option. I will until. I'm going to keep doing the activities that you tell me, Steve, because I have a little faith in you and I trust you. I'm going to keep doing the activities, and if I continue the activities, I'm going to break through. Because everybody does, but if you have a Plan B, like if I don't make this happen, I got a job waiting for me down the road here. Don't give it up. You're not going to make it. Get rid of all the Plan Bs. Determine. Look, and Angela, in order for you to have that attitude and be able to do that, you've got to have a big enough reason to be in this business. Right? Say, I don't want to sit in the cubicle. I have no desire. Look, I'd rather be homeless, living in my car, doing Uber or whatever I got to do to make a few bucks to make sure you and I and Minnie ate. I would have to be homeless on the street, no ability to make any money before I would go get a job. And even then, I don't think I'd go get a job. Jobs are not for me, because jobs are not going to give us the dreams that we have for our lives. We cannot achieve the dreams that we have for our lives. That is what's the word I'm looking for? That is accepting failure as the reality in our lives, and I will not do that. I don't know if it's going to be this month, next year, 2 years now, 5 years now, 10 years now. I don't know that I will ever achieve the goals in our lives that we set out for ourselves. But I'm not going to go get a job. I'm not going to do it. I'll just keep plugging away at it. Yeah. I'll keep plugging, because I know that, I'd rather die never achieving success, right, than live the life that I don't choose to live.
But that's also, I agree with you 100%. However, we have so many successes along the way that other people don't.
Yeah.
You know, Are there big goals and dreams that we haven't achieved yet? Absolutely.
Yeah, like taking last Friday off, not a whole day off, but half the day off. We go plan my granddaughter's birthday party. Most people would have to go ask their boss if they could have the time off. We didn't have to do that. We just did it.
Whenever we want. And we are blessed financially.
Yeah.
We are blessed financially that we also have the
We got a brand new Jeep we're riding around in today.
Yeah.
That's one of my bucket lists. It's been 30 years since I bought a Jeep. I never owned a Rubicon. I had Jeeps before, but never a Rubicon. I always wanted to have one. And so we went and bought it.
You could just play with and...
It's just a toy. We only take it out on the weekends.
That's it.
Wash it 3 or 4 times a week.
He washes it a lot.
Right, but that's one of our bucket. That's one of my bucket lists.
We also have the ability to... And I'll end with this. We have the ability at any given moment to do what most people who have a job never can do.
And how much is that worth it to you?
And that is to increase our income if we wanted to.
This week and next week.
How
do we do that, Ange?
You just do more.
Just do more. Do more activities, and you'll get more results. Right? You get more leads. If you're not working the lead program, talk to more people. I mean, it's silly to say the business doesn't work. I mean, you understand that only 39% of the country have any form of life insurance whatsoever. I mean, 61% still have a need for life insurance, and those 39%, half of those don't have enough. So you can stand on a street corner. You might get tired of the rejection, but you'll find somebody that wants to buy some life insurance. So again, how much are you willing to do to not give up on your dreams? So as I was saying before, I would rather die never having achieved the success that we were looking for in our life rather than die a quitter. I'd rather have on my tombstone, he never, ever achieved in his life what his goals were and his dreams were, but he never quit trying. That to me is better than saying, well, he tried for a couple of years and it didn't work out for him and he went and got a job. And he was still at the job. Those things don't even, no disrespect, people have jobs. I mean, I've had jobs in my lifetime before too, but it was only to get myself to the next level. I mean, some people in this business have to have jobs to cash flow their business and buy a lead program. I'm not discounting jobs. I'm saying that if a job is your plan B, then you've already failed. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So you got to know you got to be able to identify the reason why. Have a why, but being able to identify what that is, and it can't. I asked them the other day, one of my top agents. I said, what is your why for business? Money. Can't be money. Money is a byproduct of your why. But what is that money going to do for you? That's what you have to ask. And you have to. It's like where's the fire the hottest? Right in the center, down the closest to the coals. You've got to drill it down to find out what is that money will buy you, that you're willing to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes, no matter what your coach or upline, or forget the upline, mentor, somebody who's actually doing the business told you to do. Because and I will until. It means if you never quit, you will succeed. Right? So what do we look for in an agent? Again, education, product knowledge it doesn't matter to us. Being a self-starter, stick to it in this, right? Be here a year from now, 2 years now, 3 years now. Do whatever it takes for as long as it takes, right? Coachable, big desire, high I quit factor. I will not quit. I will succeed. No plan B to burning all the bridges. I'm not going to be enticed by somebody yanking my chain out there for a salary job. Okay, that's the other thing. No plan Bs, and just give it all you got for as long as you have, because the lifestyle you can achieve here, a work-life balance, like Angela was saying. Look, we're not rich. We're starting to check a lot of our bucket list items off, but we're rich in some other ways. And we do control our schedule. We can come and go as we please. We have, we love the working with our agents that we have on our team. I love talking to all of you from YouTube that call me and want and have and just they can see that this vehicle called life insurance or mortgage and final expense, they can see a little light in the tunnel. You can see that flicker in their eyes that maybe they can accomplish their dreams here, and move their lives both in financial prosperity, but also in lifestyle prosperity. It's not all about money. Right? I mean, you and I can go out and make what we need to make in 2 days for the whole week. And the rest of the week we can do what we want to do. build our agency, talk to people like on YouTube, talk to agents that want to join our that type of stuff. That to me is there's a lot of people in the world that would take that, just that.
Right. That kind of balance and freedom, I think, is something that most people
Freedom.
crave, but they don't. They aren't willing to invest the time. They aren't willing to invest the risk. We have family members. My mom is an example. She's wanting to retire next year, and she's really past the age where I would have liked to have seen her retire. But she hasn't been in a position to be able to do that. And that, I don't like that. I think that you should, but you have to be willing to do all the things that Steve just talked about so that, you can create the lifestyle that allows you to live a retired-like lifestyle, even if you still partially work, I mean, within the next few months or so, we will have the ability to take more and more days where we just
gonna get an RV. We're gonna travel around. We're gonna
do our thing.
We're gonna do this business, around, and that's key. We can do what we can enjoy we can design our life around our business. Our business is not going to control us. It doesn't even control us now, right? But you've got to be able. There's a price to pay. You had to be willing to step up to the counter and pay retail for success. You're not going to slide into it. You're not going to beat the odds. You're not going to. The law of large numbers will always work, and you can't beat the numbers, and numbers can't beat you. You just have to do the activity for as long as it takes, no matter what. Period. I will until. If you have that attitude, you will succeed. Period. But again, being willing to quit is the number one reason people fail in this business. You can blame on your upline, and you can blame on the IMO, and these things do matter. But you can have the best IMO, you can have the best coach and and mentor in the world with the best training system. And if you're not willing to go out there and beat your head against the wall and and continue to do the activities until the results begin to appear, you're already done.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah, pretty simple.
It really is.
I mean, we said it this morning, Angela. What we say? I mean, don't disrespect. We love you guys all, but we're just trying to be honest with you. And I think we try to do it on this channel all the time. But quitters quit.
They do.
Yeah, and there's nothing, and it saddens us every time we have somebody on our team.
It really does.
Our team quit, but you know what? That's a decision that you make. It's not a decision we make. I've always said on our team calls, if you fail here because of us, it's on us. If you fail here because you quit, it's on you. Because we provide you everything you need to succeed here. And we're Sunday afternoon. Angela's over here doing case strategy. She's over here returning text. We try to be, if you give us 100%, we're in 1,000%. Right? But we cannot control you giving up on yourself.
Yeah.
It's sad,
Pretty simple.
but it's true. But that's what life is. It is. I mean, you're allowed to make that decision. It's what that's why we live in a free country. Right?
That's it.
Hate to end on that note, but because it sounds negative. It really isn't negative. I mean, all you have to do is be willing to not quit. That's it. Be willing to be bad before you're good. Don't give up on yourself. So many people are not willing to cut themselves some slack. It's not for a lifetime. It's not. Most of our agents will break out in 90 days. And be able to always make a very good living. They may not be top producers in 90 days, but they'll get to the point where they're able to make $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 a month. And for most people, that's the pretty good income.
That's right.
Right? May take you a long to be a top producer.
It's not gonna happen tomorrow.
No.
Gotta be willing to give yourself a little lead time.
Yeah, it's a business.
A little runway. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't. So you can't make a decision on your first day. If you'd made a decision on the first day of most of the things in your life, or the first 2 months, you wouldn't have kept going.
Nope.
If you asked any mom, right, of a newborn, in the first 60 days, she probably would say, this is not going to work. This is too hard. But you have to stick with it, right? And It's worth it. If you gave up in the first, 3 hours of a new job, you probably would say, I'm out. I don't know anything. I don't understand this stuff. How am I ever going to be able to keep up? But you stuck with it, and you probably were successful.
This is, it's just lack
It's
of
the same
not
thing with
having
anything.
a big enough reason to be in this business, not having a big enough why. You know, again, if it's just to make a few extra bucks, you can do that. I mean, we're talking about people that are going to succeed. Okay, if you want to sell one app a week, you can probably do that without the lead program. You might be able to do that without a coach or mentor. I mean, you know, go out and stand on a street corner and sell one app a week. But if you want to make this a career, and you know, remember you're building something here, right? You're not just making. You know, we get paid very, 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 very well up front for what you and I do. I mean, typically speaking, you go out and spend a couple hours in a home, you're going to make a couple $1,000. That's pretty good money legally, right? You know. You know, and then, but you're building something, like I said, you're also building a residual income, which, you know, means that, you know, the old saying is 100% of your income is coming from yourself. You're fixing to get killed. You can build an income here where someday when you can't work, don't want to work, got to take care of a sick family or something, you have income coming in. So you have to keep these things in mind so you know what it is you're fighting for. See, we have it all over our house. It's always in front of us. We know what we're fighting for. We look at our bucket list. We look at our goals, the house we don't have yet, the RV we'd like to have. You know, not just material possessions, but lifestyle possessions. Being able to travel more, like Andrew said. Being able to travel around the world. We love the beaches, travel around the different beaches. Those kind of things. We know what we're trying to accomplish, and that drives us through the difficult times. That we're not saying that we don't drive an hour and a half to get Porsche. We do. Angela drove this past week, drove 6 hours round trip, 2 hours and 40 minutes, one way, round trip. She drove for 6. You left here about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You go home at midnight. No sale. Most of you would have quit, but we've done that more than once. You know, I've driven a lot of appointments where I came back, I was on the road 4, 5, 6 hours and didn't make a sale. So what? It doesn't happen every day, but it does happen. And see, we know what the bigger picture is. We know that without this business, we couldn't live the lifestyle we're currently living. Not talking about being rich. The current lifestyle we're living is 1,000% a result of this industry, this business we call mortgage and final expense and running leads. So we're willing to, you know, things ebb and flow. You know, you might get a bad batch of leads. You might have a couple of weeks where people aren't buying. You know, it's the time of the year. Whatever. It's a business. You know, if you own a Subway or a Chevron gas station or an AM/PM or whatever, that business is going to ebb and flow too. You're going to be running advertising in the local flyers and on the TV, in the newspaper for, you know, advertising. You should be advertising all year long. You know, when the sales are down, you advertise more, right? It's the same thing here because you're running a business. You're going to be spending money when you're not making money. Mm-hmm. That's what you do. So you got to get out of that employee mindset and get into a business mindset and understand that I have to have $200 a week, $300 a week, depending on how much money you want to make. If you want to make $5,000 a week, you need to be spending $500 a week. You don't start there, but you have to work there. You have to get to that point. And know you're going to be spending that every single week. And when you make $2,000, $500 of it goes back in your lead program. Those are the kinds of things that are normal. That's a business mindset. You have to get your head around it. Anyway, quitters quit. Nothing we can do about it. It saddens us every single time because we believe 1,000% that anybody can do this business with a proven training system. If you don't have that, if you haven't gotten the business yet, you're still trying to get your test, or you're kicking around and trying to decide whether you want to be in this business, and you want a discount code for the state licensing, I can save you about 70%. That's where I'd start. Get your license, but make a serious decision to succeed here and do whatever it takes to succeed, right? And you know, if you're looking for a home or you're somewhere where you're not getting that kind of support, give us a call. We can certainly have that conversation, see if I can help you out, even if it means staying where you're at. And I've had those conversations, right? But there's no reason to fail in this business. There's no reason, and it's too good for you to not give it everything you've got. Final thoughts, Ange? My notes.
That's it.
Back in my Jeep. Minnie's done. Minnie?
You tired? You ready to go home?
Dad and Mom do this business because I wouldn't have bone money. And we always have to have bones.
Minnie likes lots of bones.
All right, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. Mash the bell, and you'll get instant notifications of live streams like this. We did redo the YouTube studio. That last video I just put up is a new, and we're continuing to work on it, which is why we're out today. And but again, hit the bell. You get instant notifications. I appreciate you being here. Make some comments and push the like button. Bye-bye.